to the Compare Family YouTube channel. My name is Jasania, and this is my husband.
Herman.
So, first and foremost, we want to thank you guys for actually tuning into our channel. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button to subscribe for our channels and hit the alert buttons so you are aware when we have any new videos that are out. This video is going to be an introductory video into who we are, as well as our part one of our IVF journey and why we decided to do IVF and where we're going to do IVF and the reasons behind us and the process that took us to making this decision to do IVF. But we want to introduce ourselves and kind of let you guys know who we are and the purpose behind us even creating this channel. So, my husband and I, we love fashion. You know, we want to take the initiative to create this channel, not only so you guys can have a gateway into our home and kind of walk along the journey with us, navigating marriage and hopefully navigating, a pregnancy and building our family. But we also want you guys to join us in our date nights, and we want you to join me in the kitchen. You know, we love cooking. I have a small business where I do catering and I cook. It's called Not Your Average Pate Code. And if you don't know, Pate Code is like a Haitian version of an empanada. So all my Haitians out there, if you're in West Palm Beach, hit me up. I will take care of you. And, my husband loves cars, and
Yeah, I love cars. I love fast cars. Well, sometimes I do. I fix little things in my car. I go on YouTube and watch some videos and see how I can fix it myself instead of playing into a Ford place so they're gonna charge me a lot of money. So I decided to fix little things myself. But I enjoy it. So that's what I like to do. Do what you love, and that's what I tell people.
he's very hands-on. So some days you can have him outside and he will show you different things that you can do to modify your car. He has what do you have, a Ford
I got a Ford Mustang EcoBoost. Well, it's not boosting a lot right now. It's regular, but in the future I want it to boost more. Because I'm trying to put a bigger turbo in it called Turbonetics, and hopefully, I'll be able to do this myself.
I would hope that he would get rid of the car, but it's his baby, so I have no say in this. But yeah, so like I said, some days he'll be outside. We'll upload some videos of different things with him modifying cars, or he's also a plumber, so he can upload different things about little things that you can do at home that can save you money instead of calling someone like him
A lot.
to come and rob your pockets.
A lot. A simple toilet, So sometimes you got a toilet that keep on running, and you call a plumber. It's a simple fix.
Something that would cost you hundreds of dollars, he can show you how to do it in
Pretty
5
simple.
minutes.
Pretty
So, we love fashion. We obviously love getting dressed up. We love going out. We love being together. We met in 2013.
Yes.
2013. So we've known each other for quite some time now.
Yes, we do.
We actually didn't start dating till 2016, 2017.
That's very important, guys. You gotta get to know the ladies first before you jump to conclusion and say, let me marry her. You got to know her first. So that's what I did. And
Yeah, we took a long time getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So after after that, we dated for a year. He proposed in 2017. He proposed December 2017.
Come on, okay. Come on. Come on, Jess. She said yes. Did she say yes?
I'll propose again.
I would hope so. And then we got married a year later, November 30th, 2018. So it's going to be about 3 years now. We're coming up on 3 years of marriage, and we enjoy every moment together. It's not always great. It's not always easy, but we definitely try to make it work with what we have.
I know, not all the time. So,
You would say that I'm naggy, but
no, I mean, no. Some people, they try not show off, make it seems like it's perfect, but
yeah,
it's great though. We love each other, and I wouldn't give anything to replace her. But there's a day, we're not gonna.
there are definitely hard days.
Yeah, and I feel myself.
So we want to take you with us. We want you to kind of be a part of our home and our marriage, and walk through this journey with us, and kind of help us navigate. And some days we'll post different clothes ideas for date nights. Some days we'll take you out to different restaurants that we visit. Some days you'll be in the kitchen cooking dinner with me. Some days you'll be outside with him, or learning a new task for you to do in your home. If you're a home buyer, there are so many things that he can teach you that can definitely save you some money, and certain things you should look for when you're about to purchase a home. But reeling back into the main reason for this video is to kind of highlight or go over why we're doing IVF, and what kind of led us to this point. And like we had said before, we got married November 2018, and we actually suffered we were trying but not trying, and we ended up getting pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, it took us by surprise the first time. So I mean, not the first time,
that particular time we were just in like newlywed bliss, so it wasn't something that we were working towards. But we definitely were not taking any precautions to evade it. So when we got pregnant the first time, it was a little bit. It did kind of take us by surprise, but we welcomed it. We were definitely excited because we used to talk about this all the time. We always wanted kids. He's always wanted kids. I have a huge family, and we always talked about having a big family together. We love children, so we definitely welcomed it, and we were excited to start this journey into parenthood. But shortly after, I was about maybe 6 weeks.
Yes.
6 weeks when I started miscarrying at home. And I just want to put a disclosure that this will have some graphic information, and it's a trigger to some women who have suffered miscarriage in the past. And if this is too much of a trigger for you, then I would advise you not to continue watching. But I just want to have this space and this platform to kind of showcase and maybe help another couple who's probably going through the same thing, not without even knowing that they're going through it. So about 6 weeks in, we started miscarrying, and we went to the hospital, and they told us, that we were miscarrying. And it was a very difficult and hard experience. I was rushed in for emergency surgery that same night. Honestly, it was probably one of the most traumatizing experiences in my life, because although I was 6 weeks, I was very excited.
Yeah, we were excited.
We were very excited, and we were definitely welcoming this journey with open arms. So after we miscarried, we decided to take a break and kind of wait. And when I went to my doctor kind of couldn't really give me a surefire answer as to why it happened.
Yeah.
And she basically told me, well, it was a gentleman at the time. He basically told me that it's normal to miscarry your first child, and that I shouldn't really dwell on it. And I didn't really like my gyno at the time, but that's for another video, ladies. I will stress on how you have to be an advocate for yourself when it comes to these OBGYNs, and I will have to take a whole video to talk about that, because I had a really bad experience with him. And they kind of didn't really give me any reasons as to why. And so after I changed to gynecologists and I found another gynecologist whom I really like till this day, I was a little bit more overweight back then, and she had mentioned that I have PCOS, and she said that that could have been a reason why we miscarried. So I took the initiative to lose as much weight as I possibly could. I actually did a vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I did it in Tijuana, Mexico, to shed as much weight to help the PCOS. And I changed my diet, and I ended up shedding almost 100 pounds. And
She was always love people. She did it for herself, so I'm happy for it.
I did it for myself. I did it for my future child. I did it for my womb. I did it for my ovaries.
I'll say it's good for her health. I'll say that's all that matters. So that, she was always gorgeous.
And so after I ended up shedding over 100 pounds, we tried again. We started trying again. I did the surgery in August of 2019. On my year mark in August of 2020, we tried conceiving again, and we got pregnant exactly a year later. And unfortunately for us, this time we were 8 weeks.
Yeah.
We were 8 weeks, and this miscarriage that we suffered the second time around, I don't know, was 100 times harder. I mean, each time is difficult, but this one, I think it kind of took us by surprise a bit more, because in my mind, I thought that I did everything that I was supposed to do. I thought that I did the surgery, I lost the weight, and I should be fine. I thought that we should be good, because from what the doctor said, the first time you miscarry it's normal. So I just assumed that, we should be fine. And so I remember when we went in for the ultrasound, my husband was in the car waiting because by then, if you're anywhere around the world, you know, COVID hit us really bad the beginning of 2020. So life as we knew it had changed drastically, and husbands couldn't even go inside doctor's offices with their wives while they're pregnant because they only wanted the pregnant women there in fear of, you know, anyone getting COVID while being pregnant. So my husband patiently waited for me in the car, and I went in for an ultrasound, you know, for them to measure the heart rate, and for them to measure the baby. And I remember the ultrasound tech, you know, started doing the ultrasound, and she kind of paused and, you know, took a few photos. And you know, I was like, oh, can we hear? Are you measuring the heart rate? How is the heart rate measuring? And she said, oh, I'm gonna go call the doctor. Mind you, I'm already on edge from my trauma from my first miscarriage. So when she called the doctor came in and she examined the photos, and she, you know, said to me, it seems that there is some blood around the baby and that the baby has no heartbeat, has no heart rate. So that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard to hear, and it was definitely very heartbreaking, because in your mind you think, oh well, I did everything. What more am I supposed to do? Or, you know, as a woman, you start thinking, well, why is my body failing me? Or, you know, what more can I do? Or you definitely start doubting yourself. And this time around, it definitely impacts me mentally and physically a lot harder than I could have ever imagined. And, you know, they actually allowed my husband to come in. One of the nurses were gracious enough to go out and get him so he could be by my side during this moment. And it was hard. It was hard.
And this change of vibes too, you know. Our vibe was back to different, you know. So
It was definitely hard. And I remember sitting in the doctor's office, and, you know, she called me into her office and she kind of gave me a few options. And, you know, luckily I was able enough to tell her, I need to know why. I need to know what's going on. I have to know what's going on, because now you told me what the problem could have been. My PCOS had gotten better since I had lost the weight. So what's going on? Why are we miscarrying so often? Why is it that we're not, our baby essentially is not sticking? So, you know, she was gracious enough to say, well, we have to schedule you to do a DNC. And normally, this is what she told me, ladies, and this is something that I will have to do a whole other video about that. She mentioned normally that after 3 miscarriages consecutively, that's when they can do pathology on the fetus to find out what's going on. But because I'm requesting and because I'm asking, she will do pathology on the fetus to find out what's going on. So the next day I was scheduled to go to the hospital to do my DNC, and she was able to do the pathology work. those next few months were a little bit hard because after leaving the hospital, my husband and I both got COVID. And I myself was not only healing from my surgery physically, mentally, but now getting COVID, and it really was bad for us. So we were down for a good month.
2 months.
2 months with COVID. It was hard. It was hard.
Watching Netflix every day.
But I remember getting a call from my doctor, and her having me come into the office because she got the results on the pathology work on the fetus. And I went in, and first she started off by telling me that my baby was a little boy, and but she mentioned that he was a little boy, and she said that the baby had a chromosomal issue, and the baby had balanced translocation. For those of you who don't know what balanced translocation is, balanced translocation, let me give you the actual definition, because I don't want to just say it. And honestly, this was something that I, myself, and my husband had never heard of before, ever.
Yep.
And a balanced or chromosomal translocation is a condition in which part of a chromosome has broken off and reattached to another location. In other words, it means that sections of 2 chromosomes have switched places. So not only did she tell us that the baby had translocation, she was able to tell me from which side it came from which parent. And she told me that it came from the father's side. And so she said a lot of times you have balanced translocation and you don't even know you have it because you've had it from birth. And it's the circumstance with my husband. He had no idea. I mean, he is perfectly healthy. The only issue that we have is when we're trying to conceive, his 11 chromosomes trying to match up with my 11 chromosomes, because they're imbalanced, it makes it a bit difficult. But so from getting that information and going back and speaking to my husband, instantly I got to work. I started doing research. I joined a bunch of Facebook groups. Who have kids who have balanced translocation, or partners who have balanced translocation, who are trying to conceive who have balanced translocation. And I started asking questions. I spoke to a genetics counselor and started asking questions, trying to educate myself, because honestly, this was a whole new world that I never knew existed. And so I just wanted to inform myself as much as possible, the risk and the challenges that were going to be ahead for us. And, it wasn't until speaking to a few people on those Facebook groups who started depicting their stories to me. Some women had 10, 11 miscarriages prior to conceiving a child normally. Some women went straight into IVF after a first miscarriage. Some women lost count of the amount of miscarriages they had. And, after speaking to a few of these women, I said to myself, well, there's a possibility for us to conceive normally. We should try. So we tried, and we got pregnant again. And actually, we got pregnant, I want to say 2 or 3 more times, but they were chemical pregnancy losses. And at that rate, the trauma that myself and my husband were dealing with all the miscarriages, we decided that we wanted to start IVF. And so we started embarking down that journey of finding the best IVF facility. Yes, affordable, because as we all know, IVF is like a down payment on a house. And not only did we want an affordable IVF, we wanted a gracious and wholesome facility to go to. We didn't want to just be a statistic or a number or a price tag. We wanted to feel like these people were with us on our journey and they understood, and we were not just like everyone else. And
they care.
Like they cared about us individually for our specific reasons to why we're doing IVF and our specific journey. And so we started working with an IVF facility here, and we decided to, after having a few conversations with them, we didn't feel like it was the right fit for us. So then I started researching and came across this other couple who were dealing with IVF and where they chose to go. And so I looked into where they chose to go and made a few phone calls and reached out to them to kind of get a layout of how they are with a blank slate. And I loved them almost instantaneously from the very first phone call I had with them. They were amazing, attentive, caring, genuine. And that place is IVF Barbados.
Can't wait.
We spoke to a coordinator. We spoke to a coordinator who I explained to her my process and what we were dealing with. And first, we filled out the form, the inquiry form on their website. And almost instantly, they got in contact with us after I had called, just in general, just to get a layout of who they were. After I called, I filled out the form. And they scheduled us to speak to a doctor. They worked around our schedule. And I remember that first phone call with our doctor, Dr. Skinner. And she was amazing. She was sweet. And, she took her time to go over our information, our labs, and tell us, what our options were for our situation in particular. And we didn't feel like a number. We didn't feel like a price tag. We didn't feel like, okay, let's get them in to get them out. We definitely felt like it was an individualized care type of facility. And after we spoke to her, instantly we spoke to a genetics counselor. She set us up with a genetics counselor. We spoke to them, and they kind of went over balanced translocation a little bit more for us. And my husband's breaks and how they were small. They were not that large, and that they didn't have any doubt in their mind that if we wanted to wait, that we could probably try to conceive on our own.
Yeah.
So we waited. We didn't try to conceive on our own, but we waited. We talked about it. We prayed about it. We sat down. We talked about it a lot, and
So you're not going through this anymore.
yeah, we definitely came up with a decision that we're going to do IVF. And they gave us a total for our IVF cycle, and we were shocked at how cost efficient it was. And I will definitely give you guys details as to pricings. And I mean, we're excited.
Yeah, we are. Can't
We're
wait.
excited. We're happy we found a home. We're happy we found a place where we can do this and grow our family. And we're happy that we are able to build. And we will definitely, keep you guys posted. This was just part 1. We're gonna talk about part 2. And we're going to talk about actually going out and traveling and actually going to the facility. And we thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for part 2 of our video.
We're back.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasania, and this is my husband, Ernest. Our IVF journey. Babe, what the